Guys, what's up? Hope we all good. So I just decided to share my views on what I'm looking at this week. So I'll be looking at the S&P 500. I'll be looking at GER40. I'll be looking at NU and NJ. So those are the four items for this week. I might look at something else if I don't get like any high probability moves. But for now, those four, I think that's what I want to pay attention to. So I'm going to put S&P 500. Here are S&P 500. Let me just check which one to choose. Okay, I'll use this one. Then NU and NJ. NZD, USD, NZD, JPY. Okay, I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. So GER40. I think I already have it here. So I think these days I've been doing more of like ICT reading. So you see my setups. I don't usually like to forecast that much because when I trade, it's mainly intraday trading, your day trading and your scalping. So I don't really like to focus much into the future, but I'll tell you like what I'll be anticipating. So on GER40, I've been looking at it like this. Okay, I think I marked it a while back. I think I also shared this. Like I was looking for a reaction on yesterday's high. You see, this is like from the 5th of April. Sell limit zone. Price didn't get there. They've been sort of playing around this area. Like this area, sort of consolidating or something, or ranging probably on H4, we'll see. Right. So I was hoping they would come back into this area for a possible sell. You can see I even put an alert here and an alert here based on these areas. So we had a break of structure here as well. So and a push down. They've been failing. I think there's a zone somewhere in there. They've been failing to break it. So we're going to see what happens. So sort of like long term, that's what I'm looking forward to. But if I get a setup just to trade from the HOD, sell from the HOD or buy from an LOD, I'll actually be looking forward to trade that as well. So we also have possible swing low here based on ICT. So we could actually see this price running into this area. So we just want to see how it opens tomorrow. I'm actually not sure if it's moving today, so we'll check when we drop to the smaller time frames. So on H4, you can see they almost came to the point of entry 1 year, but they didn't touch on the days when we marked it. So they've been sort of ranging. You can see that's how I've been marking this chart. Break structures have been broken on the left-hand side, which is this one and this one, right? So I was anticipating that move, still anticipating it, either to here or to here, but we'll just see. So this restore one thingy will just be adjusted accordingly. So if the sales do happen, though, I'm looking for a long-term drop, possibly to that low, to those lows there. So I'm looking for price to get to. So that's my main view on GER40. So tomorrow, basically, if I do get a sell, because what could happen is price could actually drop without coming up, right? So tomorrow, 14th, okay, it hasn't been moving since the 14th. So we might also open with a gap. We'll just wait and see. So basically what I want to try and do based on what I'm reading is catching my trades from LOD for buys and catching them from HOD for sells. So on the same day, you can still catch a sell and catch a buy, just based on how like you understand your markets or what type of trader you are. So when I do take the trades tomorrow, I will shout. I'll definitely shout. So basically what I'm trying to teach myself these days is to take 1:3, 1:5 trades at least. So I just want to record my progress as well from now on until maybe September. See how that works out for me. So yeah, so GER40, that's my setup. Price looks like they trapped on the low side here. They might push up because we saw they broke these highs. So if we get a push down and a buy from the LOD tomorrow, I'll be looking to go long. Right? If we do get a push up and we get into these areas, I'll be looking for a long-term sell. That's my view on GER40. If there's anyone else who's got a different view, guys, please do not hesitate to share. So you can see I haven't really traded this one. Besides backing it up like a week or two ago, I haven't really traded it. That's why you see there's nothing in there. So the next item I want to look at would be the S&P 500. So I believe if we've got somebody trading NASDAQ or US30 or any of the other indices, as long as we've got the same view, I feel like we can still take the same trade. So this one has been moving today, actually. You can see the data on the 18th. It moved also on the 14th. They only closed on the... Okay, I'm not sure about the date. I'm not sure if they moved Friday. Friday was the 14th or it was the 15th. But today they're moving, as you can see. So what I look forward to do is to enter buys at the low of the day. So there's certain criteria I look for, like your stop hunts, dealer to take out any like sell stops on the bottom here. But you see today we didn't really have such a setup. It wasn't that clear. But a setup I would look for, I'll just explain what I look for when I'm opening like M15. I look for setups like these where the dealer comes and sort of tries to take out sell stops. So I'll be looking to be a buyer from there. When it comes to be on the buying side, it's simply the opposite. Once I see a high of the day set, depending with sessions also, but I like to see getting violated, the dealer dropping below. So obviously I'll drop down to the 2-minute or 5-minute, but I'm usually on the 2 minutes to get those break-off structures early, then to actually get my entry. So for this particular one, I'll just show you like an example of how I do it. Always remember, guys, I'm open to corrections, additions, subtractions. I believe we had to help each other. I'm not sure if I should do this one because you can see here they ran up to the highs as well. So this also works with your sessions. So you want to look at your, after the initial high has been broken from Asian session, when we come to London session, we look for the same pattern. When we come to New York session, we look for the same pattern. So we just try to mark the range, then try to trade from HOD if you're selling, and trade from LOD if we're buying. If you can see here, they eventually violated this here, and that buy was valid. If you're using BTM, TP1, TP2, or you can just use this zone as your TP, still works the same. So let me see if I can drop down to a smaller time frame so that I can quickly show. This is basically how I'm doing it every day now. So if it helps somebody, or if you want to add something to what I've said, which can actually help me get more better entries, please do share. So this was the 12th. Okay, so on the 12th, we want to trade from 9:30. This is 9:30 in the morning. So remember, that's your London session, right? We want to look for a trade at 9:30. We want to look for a trade at 16:30. This is now New York. Okay. So we're going to the 12th, 9:30. I don't know how to do a shortcut. Still fairly new with this trading view. So I'm just gonna try to scroll back. Okay, we're looking for the 12th. Okay, 12th, we on the 13th. Okay, we close. Okay, this is the day here. So what I simply do is I like to check my charts first thing. So I'm on M15, basically looking at where the dealer has set the initial high of the day. Right, let me try to make it straight. Where is the dealer made the initial high of the day, right? So I mark that with a green line because from there I'm looking to sell. So let me see if I can try and do it fast. Okay, then I look at the initial low of the day. So I'm looking for the low which is set at Asian. So this, let me see if they actually reached here around 640. Okay, somewhere around here, roughly. So this is my Asian low, right? Okay, then I mark this with okay, I actually mark the bottom line with a green color because I'm looking to buy, and I mark the top zone or the initial high with a red color because I'll be looking to sell. I got that messed up there. Okay, so once I get to the charts now, it's London session. So I'm looking for what the price is going to do. This is what happens in London. So usually when I get price manipulating the earlier high, the first thing which signifies that this low of the day, I'm not sure if I just said high. Okay, this low, initial low of the day, right? ILOD, it's violated here. So what I look for is price to break a market structure on the 2-minute. So this one is not really clear, but I'll try to explain exactly what I'll be looking at. So the first structure which you will see here, probably the visible one will be this one. So after price runs the structure, I now have a 75% chance that the LOD has been locked, right? For that particular time. Remember now this is London. I now have a 75% probability that the LOD has been locked. Once it's locked, or once we break a structure, I usually look for a pullback either to an order block or to something which I'm familiar with. So it's for now, it's mainly order blocks, just to make this understandable. You can have your trend line if you want. It also helps because on some instances, the price doesn't really pull back to order block. So I want to try and zoom in so that you can see exactly the candles I'm talking about or how price played. So from here, if you wanted to put a trend line, you could have put maybe a trend line somewhere there, breakout retest if you wanted to. If you wanted to put a zone, so this would be our order block candle. Excuse me. Okay, so after price breaks this particular structure, I'm already in with buys here and I'm looking to put my stop loss here because now I'm 75% probability that I've logged my LOD for London session. So once I put my position, I just wait for the trade to play out. It's going to take me out if I'm wrong on the LOD being locked. Price will do this. It will either take me out, maybe they might come here and still go up, or they could actually continue, set a new low, then do the same pattern, but after just trapping more people. So I guess that's what we call your variations to them. But anyways, on this particular instance, I would have taken the trade like this. Okay, take my buy there. Okay, I'm struggling with this thing. Okay. After I open my buy there, my stop losses are just below that order block, right? You can put them below the LOD now, depending with the amount of pips or the amount of risk you have, right? But I usually safer to put them here. But if you've got like a bigger, or if you check the pips, if there's more room, you can put your stop loss here. But if you put it here, you get sort of a better reward. So I aim for 1:3, 1:5. So for these examples, I'm just going to show you 1:5. Okay, so my 1:5, where is my 1:5? Just below my Asian high. Remember, Asian high is here. That's where my 1:5 trade would be. So you guys, you have to correct me where I'm wrong. I'm taking this concept from ICT and adding them to BTMM. So if you check price actually go to 1:5 somewhere here. And we're done. We call it a day. We're done. If once you get your setup like that, you're done. So what I'm trying, remember I said I'm trying to aim for 1:3, 1:5 is to risk 1% to make 5 or risk 0.5% to make 2.5. It's fine if I make 1:3, I'll be happy with that. So, excuse me, if we check now for this particular instance, price continued pulling back into order blocks. So that was another buy entry here with a stop loss here. Same thing happens here. So this build up here could signal that we are about to break here, right? So you could be trailing, that's up to you. So these are all entry points. You could have entered here. You could have entered here. You could have entered here. So some days the setups are so clean. You'll be like, okay, what's up? You could have entered here. So this trade continued to actually play out for the longest of times until the high of the day was set. Okay, maybe you might be asking, okay, so how do I decipher that the high has been set? So the first thing I look for, usually if I get a trade here, I don't follow price to trade. But let's say I missed that move in the morning. Now, first violation, I'm looking for them to break structure. They fail, right? So there's no setup. Price keeps pushing to set a new high. So this setup I could have taken. Let's say I had not caught that first sell in the day. Let me, okay, let's just drop my sheet there. Okay, let me try to be fast. Oof. Okay. What's this chart here? Okay. So usually what could happen is when I'm on the charts, now this is the new high. This is my last, what you call it? Where I expect my last structure. So once they break this structure, I know 75% chance the high of the day has been locked. So once I see that, I'm looking for sell limit areas. So my order block, which is visible or which is fair, is here. So what I simply do is I come, but also now you want to check your time. So that's 3 o'clock. You'll be getting into New York session, right? Right. So if not familiar with the times that much, but let's assume this high was set at London session. You're expecting the dealer to run up that high with New York session. So that would have invalidated this trade. But if this was a New York price high, right, they would have violated the London session high, right? So they push up, you'll be looking to sell here. So I'm going to show you how my setup was going to look like if I was on this chart. I was going to have a sell limit here. If I was actually selling here, I was going to have my 1:5 slightly above. This one was very close to the high of the day. I might have put it here just above, right? Aiming for 1:5. My 1:5 happened somewhere there. Okay, this would have been my 1:5. But look at what the dealer does. Dealer decides to pull back up. Trying to get a pen. Dealer decides to pull back up. They take me out. This is now the new high. We're looking for dealer to break a structure. So now you could look at this as your structure, which is fine. You could look at maybe this as your structure, which is still fine, depending on the time frame. But remember, this is the 2 minutes. So let's use a structure which we can all see. So this one. Price pulls down, break structure. I'm looking for high probability order blocks. So on this particular trade, my first order block is this one. Okay, let me remove this for a while. My first order block is this one. First sell limit is there. Right. So remember this also, you have to look at your higher time frame, obviously. You need to know where your price is going. So if you are certain that, or if you have a high probability that you're looking for sales, obviously your sell limit is there. Right. Overall, I have the HOD now as my SL. So now it helps me calculate if I'm opening sell limits, like how many positions can I open until my maximum loss for that particular trade is reached. So you calculate using that. So my first sell limit would have been here. Second sell limit would have been here. Then my third sell limit would have been here. Okay, 3 positions, sell, 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 all activated. So using the last order block, which we all see, let me try to zoom in again. Okay, which is this area. You can use this whole area as an order block, which is still fine. But if you're using just these small candles in there, the trade would have been like this. So you're coming from the HOD, you're selling. So once you set in that, okay, this is your order block, you can adjust your stop loss accordingly. So stop loss can come just above that zone. 1:5. Right there. Trade doesn't even take long until it hits profit. If you were to hold the whole trade, like the whole move, or if you wanted to take profits on the day's lows, which was here, this would have been 1:12. No drawdown, sniper trade for that last limit. Right, that's basically how I approach. So for me to be able to trade like this, I cannot predict far into the future. I can try to show you what could possibly happen intraday based on HOD and LOD. So for the buy earlier that morning, if somebody held the move, if you held it to the initial high, it would have been 1:6. If you held it to the highs of your trailing or something, you could have taken 1:13, 1:17, but 1:10, I think it allows for you to have more losses and still come back and bounce back and get a big win and remain very, very profitable. So I'm happy with 1:5, like I said. Excuse me, that's how I would have traded this type of entries. So same thing on this day, I think it was on the 13th, same thing. I'm not going to mark it that much. I'm just going to show you from M15 what I would have done. Sometimes the setups play out. Sometimes your stop loss gets hit. It all depends. So look at this. On this particular trade, okay, this is the one we marked. On the next day, this is what happened. Okay, this is your Asian. This is your London high. You want a structure to be broken in there. Once it's broken, you get the pullback, your entry, 1:5, another re-entry, 1:5. You could have still taken. This is the low of that day. Violated, price pulls back, gives you, breaks the structure, pulls back, entries there, 1:5. You know, it's, I don't know. For me, it sounds like it's easy, but it's not. Because when you're looking at price from a smaller time frame basis, it gets frustrating. Don't want to lie. But if you are patient and disciplined enough, you can still be able to catch the good trades. Same thing happened here. I think this was the London high initially. You can look to trade there. I'm not going to zoom in. You can just check. There was a break and a pullback. That's your entry. They came back to that high in New York, as you can see. So you could still have taken a sell there. For a buy, it might have been hard for this particular day because there was like a buy setup. So sometimes, like I said, it gets violated, but it all depends with other confluences which you might have. Because obviously you won't use only this information before you enter a trade. You want to check your multi-time frame analysis. If you're using any, like TDI, I use TDI. I want to confirm with my TDI, like am I trading below 50 static or below yellow baseline? You know, all those things. So this is today. Today the buy was not visible. Like I said, this was your Asian lows. This was the Asian high at market price, at market open. So price has been in that Asian range. So if it's like that, usually it's hard to catch a trade. But if we had received, or if we had seen price push slightly below, we could have taken a buy there. Okay, so same thing applies from the buy. It's just that here the Asian range is big, so setups here can be tricky to see. But same thing, you see you've got your order block here. Price is reacting. So if you're on the 2 minute, if you see the pattern break a market structure, let's actually go to the 2 minutes. Let's see what we can come up with. So if you go to your 2 minutes after checking other confluences, the only thing you're waiting for there is price to break a structure. So as you can see, because you're trading in the range, no structure really has been broken. Is the price was violating the highs coming up. The only Asian high, like we marked, it's somewhere here. So the low which has to be violated is this one for us to even consider a buy. So in such a setup, this is low probability. Okay, so it comes with other terms and conditions, if I may put it that way. But basically, guys, this is how I look at charts. So that's my view on S&P 500. Like long-term view here, let me see. I didn't touch on that. Let me see what I can pick up. Okay, price has been breaking structures from the left, right, break, pull back up into this structure. Let's see. So the structure which is probably holding the price, or the order block holding the price, is this one. Okay, we had a sniper sell from there. So these are the things you need, the information you need on a day-to-day basis. Once you mark your order blocks, as you go drop down the time frames, you know what to expect. Okay, you know what to expect. So from my view, price could run lower than these current lows we have here. That could happen. We could push back up. As you can see, the price action is not so clear for me on the daily. This is like long term. But I would anticipate price to push down to these lows here initially before they either push back up or to actually break and continue pushing down. So I won't go much into time frame analysis or into higher time frame, because you know the strategy I use, I have to use smaller time frames, so I cannot predict the bigger moves. So here we've been setting lower highs for most of the past 1 or 2 weeks. Price has been pushing down. So it's that pattern which I'm saying it can continue. So we could set higher highs, not higher highs, so the lower highs, and we could see price setting new lows. That slow move, we could just continue like that until it eventually gets here. Then from there, maybe we can look for a possible reversal or a continuation to the downside. Not saying that's how it's going to play out, but it could play out like that. So looking for order blocks. Once you see like this price setting up like this, on the left, probably is reacting off this area. Possibly they could come here. All possible. This is just how I look at the chart. So on the 1 hour time frame, I'll show you. I'm now looking for selling order blocks. Okay. So this is what price could do. Let's see this today. The price is actually moving. Okay, price could initially react off this, or they can push all the way up. Okay, so these highs, okay, I want to leave it red. They can push as high as those highs or these highs from this particular day. Okay, these are just like possible areas which will be areas of interest for me to either take profit or to look for sell entries tomorrow. Okay, then so we're saying they could possibly react off here, or they could react off this area. This area for me looks like it's an order block. Okay, let me just mark it like this. Take this one to there. Okay, so this is where I'm looking for reactions to sell. if those ones are violated, obviously price is doing something else, so I don't sell. Okay. TDI, we've had based on H1, shark fin out of the bands, which was this move, which is a sell which we could have caught. Another band, another sort of shark fin inside the bands. So it sort of takes the shape of an M, which was something like this. Divergence setup for this spike, because the price was already down when that spike happened. Excuse me, so we could have sold again there. These are TDI confirmations. So if TDI can give us something like this, we're definitely going to see these lows get broken, price setting new lows for this particular price we're looking at right now. Okay. This is just my view, not financial advice. Price can literally do anything else. Okay, then from here, we just see what happens. So like I said, we trade from day to day, session to session. Okay, so M15, let's see. So the buy today, it wasn't clear. I'm not sure if on NASDAQ, maybe let's check NASDAQ quickly. I want to see, since these things almost move the same way, I want to see if today's buy was either visible on NASDAQ or US30. Okay, so if you check S&P 500, we're looking for a reaction in the zone. Okay, right now it's sort of reacting from this order block here. Not sure if you guys can see it right there. So if they break, obviously they're coming up to the other zones. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be looking for price to possibly push up and for me to sell, or to push down for me to buy. It will depend, but I'll update in the group. So let me check NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ CFD, which one I'm going to use? Okay, let's pick this one. I just want to check M15. Okay, this one, there's nothing here. Oh, on this broker, they only open at New York time, so we don't have morning information. Let's see which other one can we use. Now it's one. Okay, same setup. They didn't have that price pushing and violating Asian law. We didn't have it today. So if they don't give that particular price, then for that morning, you know, you don't have a trade unless you're using, of course, other confluences, then you can still have a trade. So for this, those who trade NASDAQ will just confirm with me, because I'll be looking at S&P 500. Okay, so I just wanted to glance at that. Let me glance at US30 as well. Okay, easy, US30. Okay. US30, same thing. Same thing. This price, I'm just going to explain this price. You know, seeing it right now kind of, I don't know, it kind of allows me to understand what the dealer is doing with price, especially after watching some of the 2022 ICT videos. After watching those videos, I came on my charts, I marked all the zones. I marked this zone from a higher time frame, these small zones from smaller time frame, right? We were looking for sales from this day. These were marked prior to this day, right? Price actually came up to this first zone, pulled down, but we didn't get a clean break of structure. That's why we didn't take this trade. By this time, I think it was 7 p.m., 6, 7 p.m. We were already off the charts, so we missed this drop. I remember talking about this trade with my other partner. So on this particular day, they came, respected this area, and they dropped. Then look at what they did. They now came back to the other zones which we had drawn. So on this day, they respected these two. On this particular day, they came to this red one. You see, they came to this particular one, and they came to this sniper one. There's a sniper zone in there, probably from a smaller time frame, but you can see they touched probably this was, let me see if it was Friday, because Friday we were not on the charts. So what day on the 4th? This was actually the 14th. I don't know why we didn't look at this, but probably if we looked at it, we could have possibly looked to take that sniper. But if you miss a sniper, you can still wait for that break of structure, wait for a pullback. And these setups, they happen on no time frames. So this is your structure on M15, price hits the HOD, break structure. How you know that HOD has been locked is the break of structure. So once you see a structure broken, you know HOD has been locked. You're now looking for sell order blocks right there, sniper entry. You sell to end the day. Basically, that's it. Today we had no entry. We didn't look at the charts. We're just browsing because it's a holiday. But tomorrow it's almost the same thing. So price could still come back here and still drop. Right. So we'll see. I believe other guys are looking at US30, so you guys can still confirm. So yeah, I was just brushing through. Okay, I hope this session is not long enough. I hope it's not boring. This setup, I wanted to trade from the day we had news. No, it wasn't this day. It wasn't this day. Or was it? I'm not really sure. But there was a certain sell which I missed. Let me just scroll back up. But I managed to catch almost a similar move on NJ. Oh yeah, it was this one. This news happened at 4:30 on this particular day, 4:30 or 4 a.m. this particular day. When I came on the charts, I was looking for price to pull back. But you can see this was a violation of the previous day's high. So those who took sales here were smiling to the bank this day because this price fell. It really fell, right? I was still looking for entries or for price to pull back. Really didn't want me to make money. They never pulled back to any zone I was seeing. Ran away with the bag. After that, I never looked at it. That's why you see there's no markings. So for this particular week, let me see if I'll actually trade this or if I'll have it on my watch list. We've been steady pushing down from that zone, so we can still look for continuation sells to this bottom zone. That's my high time frame view. That's the daily chart. 1350 cross, 5200 cross, ID 50 entry, price retesting the 200 here. We're trading below the 50. We could get a pullback up, very possible. But with this momentum breaking here, I see this price continuing to all these levels is TPs. So I will be actively trading NU, possibly to sell. Okay, so 4 hour. Okay, my 4 hours looking like this. You can see where those snipers happened, or for that news. I'm just praying we don't open. Is this today, first of all? Okay, this is actually today. I was actually saying I'm gonna pray we don't open with gaps. So right now I feel like this is a continuation pattern. I'm not sure if I should actually open sales right now. This here is a continuation pattern, guys, to sell. Right, I hope we do agree that we're selling on NU. So getting where you're going is the first thing. The toughest part is getting an entry point. So that's a TP area, possible. This is a possible TP area. This is a possible TP area. Okay, so this is 4 hour chart. I'm seeing continuation pattern dropping, shark fin. Or maybe we might get the dealer trying to take out the sellers by pushing the price up, then dropping, possibly to this zone. That's very possible. You know how it is with trading. Anything is very possible. So whatever you think can happen, it could actually happen. So here, I feel like they can come here for sales. I feel like they can also come here for sales, right? But at the same time, I feel like they can just drop like they did. So let's drop to H1, see what's up. So H1 is looking like this. The reason why we don't have a clean sell entry is because the Asian high was not violated. This price is just pushing down, right? So price is like that, or price which moves like that is, for me personally, I really struggle to catch such moves. So the line I'm going to put is based off this level, right? So they could also trap to that area just to touch, then fall, which is very possible. So now if you see me putting lines like this, is because I feel like my bias is to sell. As much as I'm selling though, price can still push all the way up, violate this, look for some other zone before the drop. Okay, that's also possible. So I want to see how my H4 is looking on the phone. Okay, you see this type of action here. So usually I start looking for what I call worst case scenarios. If I know my price is going to go down, okay, let me just quickly check it on H4 for my device, from my phone. So on H4, I try to look for peak formations high, peak formation high, peak formation low. So for this particular week, let's see, H4. Okay, it looks like we're going to get a drop, you guys, on NU. Right now, they are breaking this zone. I'm most definite NU is going to sell. I'll be damned if it doesn't. But okay, so when I say worst case scenario, it's basically these limits I've already put. But worst case scenario is I know price will drop, right, long term. But before they drop, what's the worst price they could get to before that fall? So the first one is this one. Second one is this one. Third one is this one. So on all these areas, this is a huge order block, which was tested here. This whole area qualifies as an order block. So this whole area, for me, it's a sell zone, right? Probably 68,000. I don't think they want to pass 68,000 as a whole number. If they do, they might just touch, bearing in mind that there's another order block there. Okay, so that's H1. So I still feel price will drop to set a low for the week. Once we look peak formation low for this week, we're going to buy. So it's okay. I feel like it's okay. We might miss the sell if it happens between now and tomorrow, because right now we're not trading. But if a peak gets set for this week, we're looking for buys to trade back into the range, right? But for now, higher time frame, feel like NU is going to drop. That's my view on NU. I've got sells. So tomorrow, I'll just look for price to run into those areas. Let me see if I can try to see levels. Levels, I'm still struggling with that. Peak formation high set. Can't really see the drops here because price is moving slowly down, except this particular drop on this day. Minor drop there, which is today. Everything is confirming self for me, guys. I don't know. Let me just cross check because now we are in New York session. I also hate holding trades overnight. So you know what, guys, today I'm going to be content with this. I'll wait for the proper setup tomorrow. So looking at the daily, I have an order block on exactly 18 or 0.68 thousand. Okay, 0.68 thousand. Worst case scenario. Okay, I don't know how to just make it so perfect, but worst case scenario will be price running up. So let's be patient on it. If we miss the drop, it's fine. catch peak formation low, trade the price back up into the range, which is still good. So this is my view on NJ, guys, on NU, sorry, not NJ. Tomorrow, looking for the dealer to come up either here, or ultimately on this whole number here. If they decide to drop, this is what's going to happen. After peak formation low has been set, this could be the ultimate TP. So take note. TP, 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 and ultimate TP. That's my view. But like I said, we'll see the price tomorrow. So my last pair for the day, which I'm going to speak about, is NJ. NJ is basically the same thing. I'm looking for a drop. I marked this sell, I'm not sure when, but I think it was the day of that news. Excuse me, I'm not so sure. Well, it was. Then the price continued to drop. Would have taken me out. One of the reasons I don't like to swing. Swing traders, if you had caught the sell here, you know what happens. You're halfway into profit, price pulls back to break even or takes you out, then continues. That's so frustrating. But basically on NG, what I'm looking for is price to drop as well. I'll try to get information on the New Zealand dollar index. I'll check on my live forex broker. They have those indices. So I'll check the New Zealand dollar. If it's weak, then it will just give us the more reasons to sell. Okay, so like you see, today we didn't have a clean setup based on the strategy I was talking about earlier. We'll, however, look for it tomorrow, starting with sells, possible sells. Okay, this is a possible area. This zone hasn't been broken though. So I want to see all this price, especially, okay, let me just mark this zone. This little zone I'm seeing, because it kind of falls in line with what I'm looking at. Okay, so I want to see the dealer break all these lows. You can see, so if we break here, then I think our sales should be valid. Let me just look at it from the daily, then move with it down. Okay, opening daily, I'm not getting shocked. Like, what am I seeing, man? What's going on? Okay, so daily has been bullish. As you can see, we had a strong up move, but price is sort of slowed down now, right? Price has slowed down. They're on the same. Okay, this is literally the same area, so I'm going to remove this. This is literally the same area. So that's a possible TP zone if we are selling, right? And the possible TP zone. Okay, we had a 1350 cross, we had a 5200 cross. Those moving averages haven't been retested. Hence, that could also give us more, what you call it, more weight to the bias of selling. So we could see price run up into this area or run up into this area. Nothing much from TDI. So here we want to see this zone get broken. Possibly this zone get broken too. So we should get some setups. Price has been ranging from the, what's the date? What was the date? From 25th of March. It's actually been a long time. But there is lots of trades in there. There is lots of trades. So if you drop to H4, so that's my daily chart view. If you drop to H4, you can see prices. They came and took liquidity here last week on that news at 4 a.m. Like I said, the NZD news. Here they initiated any buy stops which were here. They were triggered, dragged back down. So what I'm seeing is a huge drop down. I'm not sure if NZD is going to use this week, guys, but please help me check. We could catch a good move to 83,000, 82,000, ultimately 80,000. That could be, that's a lot of pips actually. That's a lot of pips. So swing traders, please let us know what you're seeing. Or this price can ultimately come to this zone, then do this. Or this zone, then do this. So just be in mind, price can do anything. But based on what I'm seeing here, divergence, we dropped. This high wasn't violated. What could the dealer possibly want to do? So that'll be me thinking out loud now. You know, you have to put your zones, put alerts if you can, try to decipher where price can go next. They could decide to push this price back up here, just grab more orders, then ultimately fall. But from this price action here, guys, I am seeing, then we have the shark fin on the baseline and the static 50 there, which was a retest of this order block. Make it more visible. So everything here is based on BTMM, it's based on ICT, and it's based on my trading edge, whatever I've learned along the way. So here, maybe if you just want to mark, or just to make it more, so it was more like this. Okay, this was 4 hours. Okay, so I'm seeing sells, with worst case scenario being the dealer pushing price back up here before dropping. If we can get this, I'll be happy with that. So trade this tomorrow as well. I'm looking for sales. So guys, I hope today's session was productive. I hope I had the same view with somebody, but I'm open to corrections. If you guys are seeing something else on S&P 500, GER40, NU, NJ, please, guys, I'm open for corrections. Share your setups with me on WhatsApp, or you can even do a video. We can have Zoom, plug and play. My network is usually bad these days, so my sessions are not, I wish we could like interact, but sometimes when my network is fine, it will be odd hours. Okay, you can see the violations with which the dealer did on certain zones or certain prices. Okay, so we'll just see what tomorrow is for us. But this is me with my 4 items which I'll be looking at. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll be open to additions, subtractions. If you listen to this on YouTube, please do share your comments, additions, subtractions. I'm open to anything because I believe we learn something new every day. So that's me. For today, we'll catch up tomorrow just before London session. Maybe we might have a live if network permits. Or we'll just share signals on the WhatsApp or Telegram groups. DMR sessions, we still do those as well. So we'll see how price plays out tomorrow. So if you're watching this on YouTube, share, like, comment. If it's Telegram, you can just share with friends. So if you have different views, I also want to see your views. Let's see how we can all work to achieve the same goal, which is to make some money out of these markets. So guys, blessed Easter holidays to you. Those who are traveling, safe travels. We'll catch up tomorrow. Stay blessed.